In today's episode of the Aeong Show, we'll be talking about tonight's 6th anniversary episode of AEW Dynamite. Hello everybody, this is Zach and welcome back to the Aeong Show. Yes, today is Wednesday and it is October 1st, the start of a brand new month. And tonight is, of course, AEW Dynamite, and it is, of course, the 6th anniversary episode of AEW Dynamite. That's right, it's been 6 years since that first ever edition of AEW Dynamite that was aired. I can't even believe it. A lot has changed in the company, but then still a lot has kind of stayed the same in the company. A lot of the same stars that were there on that first Dynamite are still here in the company. A lot of people have moved up and down the card, but again, we still have a lot of those same people. Really only the few big names that aren't there anymore, kind of like Santana and Cody are both gone, but everyone else is still in the company pretty much. Tonight's big show, I know it's supposed to be 2.5 hours long, special episode. It's pretty stacked card to say the least. You have a lot of really good matches on this card. I'm going to run down the entire card. We're also going to talk a little bit about the upcoming Blood and Guts match that was announced on Collision on Saturday. This is going to be a good card. Let's just go through some of the stuff we have here. We know Jurassic Express is returning. They made their big reunion at All Out last week. And, they weren't on Dynamite or Collision last week, but they will be there tonight. It'll be interesting to see, what they have to say. Of course, the Young Bucks and them are probably to be immediately feuding, but, what are they going to say? How are they to be acting together, again, compared to how they were a couple years ago? Will be interesting, to say the least. We also have Timeless Toni Storm returns to Hollywood, Florida, that is. Toni, of course, lost her Women's World Championship at All Out to Chris Statlander. So, we get to see where she's at now. Toni can do anything. She's, again, one of the most versatile women's wrestlers in the world, versatile wrestlers in the world. Where is she going to go after this? Is she going to, immediately want to face Statlander again for the title? Is she going to have to go after someone else? There's a lot that she could do. So we'll see what she has to say as well. Then we get into some of the matches we have announced. We have Darby Allin and Chris Statlander versus Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta. Of course, after the end of Dynamite last week, when Statlander retained her title and then told the Death Riders that she was not joining them, knocking out Wheeler and then running off, and then Darby coming out with the flamethrower, challenging Moxley for the I Quit match at Wrestle Dream. This is going to be an interesting match. It's mixed tornado tag match, so I guess it's just a big mess and all that. Everything's be going on it, which I think is probably best, just because with Marina, she's not the most adept wrestler out there, so having it be a tornado thing makes it a lot more easy. Just be a big mess and not as focused on just one-on-one wrestling. Especially with Darby and stuff. It's gonna be wild. Everyone's probably gonna get involved. It'll be a big thing. We also have Kyle Fletcher defending his TNT title against Orange Cassidy. This match I am excited for. Originally it was gonna be Kyle Fletcher's hologram, which would have been really interesting because I've got holograms, such a good lucha wrestler, and we saw Kyle Fletcher and Commander have such a great match on Collision. So him versus Orange Cassidy, though, is completely different change of pace. And Orange Cassidy, this is he just came back last week, immediately challenging for the TNT title. Of course, one of the greatest champions in AEW history. His international title reign was legendary. So now he's facing Kyle Fletcher. I do expect Fletcher to win. I don't think he's going to lose to a hologram. I don't think he's going to win. He's going to lose to Orange Cassidy, but should be a really good match. I'm excited for this one. Of course, Orange Cassidy just came back last week, so he only had the one trios match, which was a fun match, but him now in a singles match, especially with how good Fletcher is, should be crazy. It should be a really exciting match. I can't wait to see it. We also have there's 2 more matches. I'm gonna talk about the one I'm most excited for last. The next one is Jon Moxley, Daniel Garcia, and Claudio Castagnoli facing up against Hangman Adam Page and the Ops of Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Will Hobbs. I mean, this should be a fun match. We got, again, after last week when Hangman saved Joe and Hobbs. Now we got this match against the Death Riders. I mean, it's always been fun. Again, I think the Death Riders are really hitting a new gear lately. Moxley, especially, is just kind of like on a run. Really good stuff. Hangman, of course, killing it. Should be a fun, exciting match. I'm going probably with Hangman and them, probably to knock out Daniel Garcia. But I mean, I could see the Death Riders winning. Depends. Maybe like Hobbs or Joe gets pinned. But we'll have to see. We still don't really know like what Hangman's doing at Wrestle Dream. He hasn't really set anything up. Like maybe Claudio could challenge him or something like that, depending. I could see like the I Quit match, like being like kind of like the show stealer for that pay-per-view. So maybe Hangman has a slightly lesser title match. But I would, because there's not really, I mean, I don't really know who else he's going to challenge him right now. But I mean, there's still time before the pay-per-view. It's not to, we still have around like 2.5 weeks. So like 2 more Dynamites after this. So they probably want to get building something soon. So maybe like Claudia or something. Because I mean, Moxley's busy. Garcia, I don't think is ready for that, but we'll see. And then also the match that I'm really excited for. This one is like PWG main event, written all over it. Kenny Omega in his return after being taken out a few weeks ago by Kyle Fletcher, teaming up with Bandito and Brody King against Josh Alexander and the Young Bucks. Now this is gonna be fun. Like these are two crazy tag teams, 2 amazing singles wrestlers, 2 crazy trios. They're gonna be going all over the place. You have all the high flying stuff for the Bucks and Bandito. Even Brody gets a little high flying in there. And of course Kenny, the best bout machine, the cleaner. He is AEW in my opinion. AEW is always better when Kenny is around. Josh Alexander getting a big showing here as well. I think since he came in earlier in the year in the Owen Hart Cup, I think he's had a lot of good stuff. But he kind of needs I feel like something a little bit more. I feel like he hasn't really had like a storyline or anything really going on with him. He's just kind of been like there putting on good matches, like with the Don Callis family. I mean, he was in that crazy ladder match at All Out, but again, he hasn't really had like anything to like sink his teeth into, like just for him alone. We have other members of Don Callis family like Fletcher and Takeshita doing a lot of stuff, even Hechicero, like challenge for the ROH title and stuff like that. But Josh, I feel like he needs something. Maybe like do something with him and Kenny again. That'd be really fun to see those 2 go at it. I know they wanted to wrestle, I think, back when Kenny was like TNA champion, but that never actually happened. But yeah, that is a crazy trios match. And I mean, it's a 2.5 hour show, so there's definitely going to be more added on to the show because we're not just going to have 4 matches. But we'll see what gets added later on, probably later in the day before the show happens. But yeah, great show. 6th anniversary. Crazy to think that AEW's been around now since 2019. 6 years since Dynamite first aired. Been a wild ride. A great ride. Wrestling is much better with AEW. So yeah, I'm excited. And then also let's get into a little bit of talking about the blood and guts because this should be good. The first women's blood and guts match in AEW. Jamie Hayter challenged the Triangle of Madness to it on Collision. Queen Aminata was by her side, so we know at least like a few members of it. I'm assuming it's probably be like 5v5. I'm going to assume Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford will probably be on the Triangle of Madness's team. Maybe someone else in there, at least Megan Bayne. Probably Penelope Ford, because she's always really good in like hardcore matches. And then you have the other side, like, I mean, who do you throw in there? You could throw in a few people, like Willow could be in there. Maybe like Ty J maybe in there. Like Toni Storm, you could just toss in there as well. Like, I mean, she'd be amazing in a blood and guts match. So there's a lot of ways they can go with it. But it is exciting that they're finally getting that big match. They've been building this up like all year pretty much, having all these different multi-women matches, just a lot of like interwoven stories between all of them, which is good to see. I feel like the women's division has really, this year, compared to every other year in AEW, like this year has really stepped up. Like just in terms of, not even just like the women themselves, but just like the way that they're being presented on TV is a big step up. I think it's a lot more of like the Like they usually have like the men's all-star matches. They've been doing a lot more of those with the women as well, and putting them in bigger positions, main eventing shows and stuff like that, which is what you need to do. You need to present them as a big deal, because even if they're doing good, if they're like not presented as a big deal, they're not seen as a big deal. So this is another big step for that. Again, I've seen some people say like, oh, are they gonna do like a men's blood and guts too? I don't think they should. There's no real reason for it. Like, yeah, you can do the Death Riders in a blood and guts match, but like, I'd say just they already had like their matches earlier this year. They had the giant steel cage match. They had like the Anarchy match. Like, I think just do the women in the blood and guts. They'll do amazing. Every women's like hardcore crazy match in AEW has been like a show stealer or like one of the best matches on the cards. So I think give them their spot and they'll absolutely kill it. It'll be amazing. It's in Greensboro, North Carolina, which again, a hotbed, historic wrestling town. So that's even better for it. So yeah, I can't wait. AEW again doing great. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, on Thursday to talk about Dynamite, everything that happened on it. Which I mean, based off the card, it's going to be an exciting show. We'll probably have more info, maybe some more build towards Blood and Guts, maybe hear more about how the match is going to go in terms of, I know it's announced, I think it was in November it's announced for. So there's going to be a lot of build for it. So we'll see how that gets started. But yeah, this has been Zach with the Aeong Show. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're most excited about for Dynamite tonight. I will talk to you guys all tomorrow. Remember to like, subscribe. Go subscribe to my new channel, Aeong's K-Pop Corner, if you are interested in that. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you again for watching. Peace.